It's great when you complete your top list for the next day the night before. Great when you do it the night before. It's great when you have a great overall game plan for the week. And it's also great when you have goals for where you want to be by the end of the month. Now, the financial plan, broken down month by month, is going to help you do that. Because you're now thinking, okay, I've got to report on my actual results for the month versus my plan. That means if I'm not hitting my plan, the natural question is going to be, if you're not hitting your plan, what are you working on that isn't working? It's also possible the plan's wrong. Okay, that's also possible, but generally speaking, it's the action steps that are not being implemented, or you're working on the action steps that are not serving you that well. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to talk about this point because it gets very confusing when we talk about branding. I mentioned to you that JT works on branding for an hour or two when I'm coaching with him, and it's rapid fire ideas, I got to tell you, which is why it works really well. He's very right-brained, very creative, and there's a ton of ideas, and then I know where he's typically headed with that. I take that information and we build that into the action plan as we go forward with the student's business. So, people generally get confused. The business name, this is your brand. The business name is the same as your domain name. So when we're looking at domain names and business names to start, okay, we're ideally trying to come up with the same name. And the email address is going to match. So as an example, my business name in Tampa is in real estate is Tampa Capital Partners. My domain name is Tampa Capital Partners. My email is steve@Tampa Capital Partners. When I stand up at networking events in Tampa and I tell them I'm looking for properties, I always stand up and say the same thing. Hi, I'm Steve Paulett with Tampa Capital Partners. I'm building that brand in people's heads through speech and what they see all the time. Okay. Now, it's not my legal name. Tampa Capital Partners, LLC, was not available when I registered my LLC. So I have a different name. It doesn't matter what your LLC's name. It doesn't matter. What matters is your brand. Okay? You can have many, many LLCs as you go forward. Okay? So don't worry about whether the state says your LLC is available when picking a domain. So this, for whatever reason, gets confusing, and hopefully that clarifies it for you. Okay, now, this is really interesting. When you write, and I call it the top 5, and it's really typically a list of 5 things that make the biggest difference in your business. That's the top 20%. Because we all have a big list, but there's probably only 4 or 5 that really make a big difference. Right there. Expect to accomplish it. Expect to accomplish it. Make a commitment to accomplish it. Make a commitment to accomplish it. Once you know, or project at least, that these are the most important things that you do in your business, then make a commitment that you're going to get it done. And what's the best way for you to have the best assurance that you're going to get it done? Look what Nito does. What does Nito say? He says he starts with the most important things for him to get done first thing in the day. As the day goes on, the less important things are addressed. So the faster you get to the most important stuff, the better. Typically, looking at email and doing files or pretending to work is not the most important thing. Okay. Now, having said that, if one of the most important things is to have a meeting, make a phone call, go to an event that night, then obviously it's probably not going to happen at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning when you're arranging that.